Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Point of Insanity Game Studios Geekery in General podcast. I am Al, and today we're going on another bargain bin adventure. As always, the video of this episode will be available on Point of Insanity Game Studios YouTube channel, and the audio is also available at Point of Insanity Game Studios page on podbean.com. Now, before I begin with the actual episode, a quick announcement. This episode is going to be airing in late February, which means that it's almost time for the GM's Day sale at drivethroughstuff.com, which takes place around March 4th, because, adventurers, March 4th, the month March 4th, okay, you get it. Gamers are intelligent people, you understand. So anyways, there will be many different products on sale. Not only will Point of Insanity Game Studio products be on sale, but there will also be products from many other fine publishers on sale as well. So check it out. I don't know exactly when it starts, but I know that the sale does run sometime around that March 4th time frame. So go check it out. On to today's other adventure, the Bargain Bin Adventure, and this one's going to be for the Nintendo Wii. Going to be taking a look at Speed Racer, the video game. Now, I know there was at least one other attempt to make a Speed Racer game back in the days of the Super Nintendo. I've never played it. I've seen it in used stores, but I've never actually picked it up, so I can't say how it will compare to the Wii version here, though they are going to be very different, because the Speed Racer game that was released for the Super Nintendo, I'm not sure if it was released for the Genesis or any other systems at that time, but that was based on the classic Speed Racer cartoon, whereas the Wii version here is going to be based on the Speed Racer live-action movie. Now, I never really got into the Speed Racer cartoon. I think I may have caught part of an episode or two if I was just flipping through the channels. I knew a little bit about what it was about, but like I said, it's not a anime series that I really watched a lot of. I do remember seeing it be homaged in an episode of the Fairly Odd Parents. I don't remember the name of it, but I believe it was a two-part series. The main plot of it was Timmy Turner and his two fairies. They had a couple of magic remote controls, and Vicky, the evil babysitter, got a hold of one of them. So they were going on this chase through all these TV stations and TV shows because they had to prevent Vicky from becoming an evil overlord and taking over the future. So they actually had Timmy Turner's future self back. So they had some pretty cool ones in there. Like there was a parody of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which I think it was called Genetically Altered Karate Cattle or something like that. But they did do one for Speed Racer where they were kind of poking fun at the style that a lot of the dialogue took. It was, and those of you who have watched a lot of anime, you'll recognize this, where sometimes when a character is speaking, they'll throw in things like "ooh, ah," and that's what they were doing in the section there, where they had dialogue like one of the adults was telling Timmy, "You cannot race in this race. You are too young to race in this race. It is too dangerous for you to race in this race. Ooh, ooh, ah." And then, of course, Timmy Turner's like, "But I must race in this race. Ooh, ooh, ee. And they were throwing in all those little vocal things. And as I said, if you've watched anime, you're probably familiar with this, where sometimes they will throw in, little pauses like, and yee, or just stuff like that. Or sometimes someone will talk really fast, even though there's no real reason for them to talk really fast. And other times they'll talk slow. And that just has to do with, well, what it was like when you're trying to dub a series that's in another language. Because, well, in one language, you might be able to say something very quickly and easily. However, that quick, easy sentence or that saying might not translate the same into another language. It might actually take quite a bit longer or shorter to say the same thing. Well, on to the live action Speed Racer. I did see this movie. I understand it was considered a box office bomb, a lot of hype, didn't live up to that hype. Now, it's been a while since I've seen it. I've only seen it once, and honestly, it wasn't bad. It's definitely not the worst movie I've seen, but it's not the best either. I will have to say, for me, the standout performance in that movie was probably John Goodman. I mean, I like him. I like him. He's a really good actor, and I just really like the his portrayal of Pop's Racer. He just did a really good job of playing that father figure. So, without further ado, as I've rambled for quite a bit longer than I usually do when I am doing my Bargain Bin Adventure and other video episodes, let's pop in Speed Racer for the Nintendo Wii. Okay, there we go. That doesn't really look much like the characters that I remember from the movie, but as I said, it's been a while. Yes, we know, tighten the wrist strap, which I do not have. And I did actually have the original box for this game when I bought it, and it looks like it just uses the Wii remote, so I'm guessing it's probably going to be somewhat similar to Mario Kart, with the motion controls where, again, you tilt it back and forth. So we'll see how this works. Okay, yes, hold it horizontally. I don't have the little steering wheel thing right now. Okay, Warner Brother Games. Okay, never heard of that company before. And now we get to our opening cutscene. Doesn't look too bad so far. So we're gonna skip this. I'm sure that there's some internet site out there on the YouTube that someone's probably got the opening cutscene if you want to watch it. Or you could buy the game. I mean, this one only cost me a whopping 99 cents at GameStop. And the box was actually pretty cool. It's got kind of that hologram style like you see with some premium trading cards. Okay, let's do options, settings, game options. Okay, I figured they'd have controls, but probably nothing really going to be too complex. Nah, credits, we don't really care about that. Enter code. I wonder if there's like cheat codes. Tutorials? No tutorials. We'll just jump right into the action here. What the heck, we'll just do a single race. Nah, what the heck, let's try championship. Go for broke. Who should we be? So, only ones I recognize are, of course, Speed Racer and Race... Was that a Minotaur? That's pretty weird. Okay, it's a guy that's dressed kind of like a Minotaur, or a Viking, or a Barbarian, or whatever. So, I'm guessing, of course, you'll be able to unlock characters. Trixie, I remember her. Speed Racer's girlfriend, I think. So, it looks like it's similar to Mario Kart, where you've got your different characters, each with their own strengths and weaknesses. Looks like Speed Racer is pretty well balanced, so he's the main character, so that's doesn't surprise me that they would make him the well-balanced character, kind of like in a lot of Mario games. Mario, of course, is going to be well-balanced. Steering your T180 up and down. Okay, it's still loading. I'm like, okay, I was pressing the buttons, but nothing's happening. Alliance requests, rivals, okay, no idea. We did have the instruction manual with this, so maybe if I actually read the instruction manual. Okay, what the heck, let's accept some alliances here.
Nitro offers an alliance.
What the heck? Let's just begin our race. Okay, I do have to press the button. What the? Okay, Mario Kart, this is not. The play control just doesn't really seem as fluid as Mario Kart was. So far, graphically, looks a little bit more like F-Zero, which I've played. I mean, I'm not very good at it, I do admit. Okay, why, thank you. I'm glad to hear my engine has some power. Not if I crush you first. Okay, what place am I in? I'm like 8 out of 12. Okay, I'm not doing very good. We got an Australian in there. Okay. Okay, so that's kind of... What the heck was that? Okay, I was trying to bash into people. Hopefully I didn't accidentally bash into one of my allies. A for health. Okay. Didn't know I had health. Okay, so, wonder if we get any sort of... Okay, I do have an ally there, so I wonder if you do get any sort of power-ups, or if it's just... Oh. Dude, ally, get out of my way. Press B to boost, okay? Hey, that wasn't nice. Okay, so far, not making too much of an impression. I mean, it is kind of cool how they do let you do the allies. That's pretty cool. Oh, Valkyrie's ride, so he's like a Viking guy. But as I was saying, because I know... Okay, I'm not winning. But Mario Kart, of course, some versions of it did have sort of an alliance thing going where you could do your team races. So maybe I'll explore what that does if I decide to play this game a little bit more, because, I mean, when I do get my games for my bargain bin adventures, when I do select them, if it is something that I do like, I will try to play it a little bit more. So it's not like I just buy these games and, you know, do my review and then forget about them and never touch them ever again. So I do like that mechanic, though, with being able to have alliances. That seems like it could be pretty cool. Not something I've really seen in a lot of racing games. Then again, I haven't played a lot of racing games over the years, so take that for what it's worth. Mainly like Mario Kart. Rock and Roll Racing was another one that I really enjoyed for the Super Nintendo. Arr, yourself. Let's see, F-Zero. And I know there was one that I used to play on a computer, because when my parents got a computer many years ago, there was some demo software on it, and one of it was a racing game. I cannot for the life of me remember. Whoops, sorry, ally. Okay, so this is kind of bad that my allies are all ganged around me, so I'm not really sure what I'm doing. Nice driving. Well, thank you. Not sure if I like the fact that they have the little portraits pop up with the quotes every now and then. I'm not gonna say it's terrible or it's ruining the experience for me, but I can see that it does get kind of annoying if it happens too much, especially not if I get you first. Or actually, I think that's actually one of my allies, so you better not be coming to get me. You sound like a barbarian D&D character. Okay. Probably should have read the instruction manual that came with this so I could,
Also pointless.
so I could kind of figure out what I'm supposed to do here. Because the back of the box was talking about Carfu, which, so different from Mario, where, like Mario Kart, there's an emphasis on picking up the various weapons, like, the shells and the mushrooms and the stars and all that. Whereas in this one, it seems like it's more an emphasis on crashing, where definitely different from F-Zero, because of course with F-Zero, hey, I'm in first place. That's kind of cool. Because of course in F-Zero, you don't want to really bash into other players, because that makes you lose health. Okay, I'm starting to get a little bit more hang of the controls, so doing a little better here. And so let's take a look at this so far. What do I think? Well, graphically it looks nice. As far as Wii games go, I would say probably a bit better than average, because I know I've talked about this with Wii games before, where... What the heck happened? Hey! Oh, please don't tell me this game uses rubber band AI. That gets so annoying. For those of you who may not be familiar with the term rubber band AI, or some people like to call it rubber banding, it is a term used to describe a tendency in racing games, and I'm sure it happens in other types of competitive games as well. No, you're not taking my lead. But rubber band AI is, hey, I won, yay! I feel accomplished. But as I was saying, if I can complete my thought here, rubber band AI is when the game designers program it so that you could be doing really good. You could be way far ahead of everyone else. You could be just like within spinning distance of the finish line. Then all of a sudden, boom! Some racer comes out of nowhere and steals victory from you. So, yeah, obviously not something that a lot of people enjoy. It's basically just cheap. Well, I came in second place, so what do I think? Rosie Blaze, no idea who you are, ma'am. I've unlocked Class 1 Championship trophies. Woohoo! Like I said, I feel accomplished. So, what do I think of Speed Racer, the video game? Honestly, it doesn't look like it's gonna be a bad little game. I mean, graphically, I would say it's probably a little bit better than a lot of the Wii games that I saw around this time, which, looking at the copyright on the back of the box, so 2008. So that, I believe the Wii came out in 2007, if I'm not mistaken. So that's one thing I notice sometimes with video game consoles, where usually the earlier games in the console's life usually aren't as graphically impressive as some of the ones that come later. I haven't really noticed it much with Xbox 360, but then again, I haven't really played a lot of games for the Xbox 360, but I do remember, like, for the old NES and the Super Nintendo, because like near the end of the NES's life, there were some actually pretty good 8-bit graphics that you could see on that. And even in the 16-bit era with the Super Nintendo and the Genesis, some of the games that were coming out at the end of the life of those consoles were actually pretty good ahead for its time. So I would say for this time in the Wii's life, graphically, not too bad. Actually looks, like I said, a little bit better than a lot of the graphics I've seen. Because a lot of the early Nintendo ones, they were focusing on more of course, the cartoony style with like the Mario games, and then the games that featured using your Mii characters, those were obviously not done for realism. So graphically, I did like that. I think that it least from what I've seen so far, it does capture the general mood of the film, from what I can remember of the Speed Racer movie. Music wasn't paying as much attention to it because I was, again, kind of focusing on talking and playing the game at the same time. Music doesn't seem bad. Kind of nice. Didn't really hit me. Didn't really stand out as being too exceptional, but I think this game does have some potential, and certainly one that will be worth a look and play a little bit more in the future. So, with that said, I'd like to thank you all for either listening to the episode or watching the episode, whichever you prefer, on either Podbean or listening through YouTube. I'm sorry, listening through iTunes or watching on YouTube. However you choose to partake in geekery in general, I hope you enjoyed it. So, with that said, thanks for tuning in. Have a good evening, or morning, or afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you are, and happy gaming.